of the Gear Up Corner is a little different. Today we are doing more of a lesson, and you will be receiving a book called The Next Guide. This Next Guide is printed by Gear Up and has lots of great information for you in planning towards your future. As you look at the video during your flex block today, please take your guide and follow along. There are many things that you can fill in and some things that you can follow up with on your own. Thank you and have a great day.
I'm the Gear Up coordinator, and today I want to introduce the sophomores to a booklet that Gear Up has purchased for them called The Next Guide. The Next Guide has lots of really useful information, and I'm just going to hit a few of the highlights. I hope you'll take some time after this video to go over the booklet in more detail. On page 1, you can notice at the top there's a space for your name. This is your individual book for you to keep. Also, if you look, what are your plans after high school? You may or may not know that now, and that's okay, but if you do have some things in mind, you may mark them down. At the bottom of page 1, you'll notice a space for you to record the names and contact information for several key people in the school building. Myself, Gear Up Site Coordinator, Monica.Bain at ccpstn.net. That is my email, and you can reach me anytime. Turning to page 6, if you'll notice at the top, it says research the right career for you. Many times, lots of students, and adults for that matter, do not really know what they're interested in, or maybe not be aware of all of the careers and opportunities that are available. This is where taking a career interest inventory test comes into play. This is not really an exam, but it is just a way to streamline and look at the things that you may have interest in or skills that you are already good at. I will send the link to some of these to your teacher in an email. Hopefully you can possibly do that after the video or maybe tomorrow. And I will also send the link for those in the Signalvine group text that I have for the sophomores. Turn your booklet now to page 13. If you'll notice at the top, it lists post-secondary education options. There are several options that are available to you as a young person going forward in planning your career. Some of the examples listed are readily available here in our own county. A certificate, for example, you can earn that at TCAP, which gives you license and specialty knowledge to work in a specific field. An associate's degree is a 2-year degree, which you can stop there and go directly in the work field, or you can transfer and go on to a 4-year school. Rome State Community College is a college where you can receive a 2-year degree, which is called an associate's degree. Looking at page 15, Education Pays. This chart was created based on jobs in the state of Tennessee, and these are the jobs that have the greatest number of annual job openings in our state. And you can look down the page. I'm not going to read them all to you, but I do want to make note of some of these. We have access for you to get your certificate or your 2-year associate's degree here locally in our county. Specifically, I want to point out, if you will look down at secondary school teachers, except special and career/technical education. Rome State has a program called 2+2 that you can do your first 2 years there and then go on to do the second 2 at another university. I want you to look down at the bottom of the page where it says heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration. This is a really good career opportunity, and our TCAT in Jacksboro has just added this program as a certificate that you can obtain there, and they've just added it this year, so it will be readily available for anyone that graduates this year or years to follow. On page 16, you'll see a graph. In this graph, it actually lists based on your level of skill or college obtainment, the amount of money that you would earn. Now, obviously, these dollar amounts are average and are not set in stone, but it does give you a very clear indication that the higher your level of education, the higher your level of income is going to be after you finish that and start in your career. Turning to page 19 in your booklet, I'd like for you to look at the chart just for a moment. Now, I'd mentioned earlier if you do a interest inventory exam, that will help you see areas that you might be most interested in and the careers that would match with your interest and your skills. Once you do that, you may say, I'm not sure which college to attend, I'm not sure which school or university. And this chart just lays out some things to think about that you will have to consider based on where you're going to go, and obviously based on what degree that you're going to seek. The type of school there in red, a 2-year, 4-year, technical school, public or private, university. There are, believe it or not, still some all-male or all-female schools, some that are religious affiliated. But many things to consider beyond academics. Obviously, that is the number one consideration, because you do need to make sure that the school that you're interested in attending does offer the program or the field of study that you want to pursue. Besides that, looking at the admissions requirement, it's very, very important here to look at the GPA and the test scores that that school requires in order to get accepted or attend. The test score that is most important here is your ACT exam. I cannot say enough how important that is and how much emphasis you should put on that to try and do your best. Many times, some of the requirements may be above or possibly even below where the range that you fall with GPA and ACT, but that's something you want to research about that school before you apply. Also, affordability. In Tennessee, we have the Tennessee Promise Scholarship, which allows anyone that graduates from a Tennessee high school and lives in the state of Tennessee to go for 2 years tuition-free to community college or technical school. So that is something to really weigh against the cost that it would be to just go directly into a 4-year college or university. On page 20, there are several links to some very, very good documentaries or sort of TED Talks, informational workshops that might help you to choose your career or to choose your interest in a college. Some of the questions on the left, such as I have no clue what I like to do or what my interest might be. I would ask your teachers to possibly show you 1 or 2 of these at the beginning of the flex block each day, or I can also send the link out to the students that are on the Gear Up Signalvine text group, and you can view these at your own leisure. Turn your booklets now to page 30. Midway down the page, you'll see primary sources of financial aid. There are 5 different ways here listed. No, excuse me, 4. Grants. Grants are totally free money that does not have to be paid back. This can come from state and federal government. When a student is awarded this, it is based on the financial circumstances of the student's family. And in order to see if you are eligible for this, once you're a senior, you'll complete something called your FAFSA, which is an application for free student aid. Scholarships are also free money that don't need to be repaid. With scholarships, most of these are some type of merit, primarily academic achievement. Again, this is another place that your ACT score will come into play. It is very, very important. Also, there are athletic and community service scholarships that you might be eligible for as well. I'm going to skip loans for now and go to work study, is where you actually work part-time at the college or university where you attend, and that money that you earn will help to pay for part of your college cost. Lastly, I want to mention loans because sometimes it is necessary to take a loan to pay for your college tuition or expenses, but that should be a very, very last resort. Sometimes you cannot avoid it, but if at all, you want to, because you do not want to graduate and start out your career in your life in a huge amount of debt unless it's absolutely necessary. I'd like for you to turn now to page 31. At the top of page 31, you'll see Tennessee Financial Aid. This page does a great job of summarizing and explaining the main categories that you would be able to receive funds from to help pay for your college tuition and other expenses. The first one, the Tennessee Hope Scholarship. This is $3,500 per year if you're attending a 4-year college. It is $3,000 per year if you're attending a 2-year college, like a community college such as Roane State. The requirements: you must have a 21 composite on your ACT, or, and that's a very big or, a 3.0 GPA. The Aspire Award has similar requirements as far as the academic component. It's the same as the Hope Scholarship, but in order to qualify for the Aspire Award, your family's adjusted gross income must be $36,000 per year or less on your income tax returns. The General Assembly Merit Scholarship is called the GAMS, and this actually provides an additional $1,000 per year as a supplement to the Hope Scholarship. And in order to qualify for this, this is for very high achievers that have a 29 on their ACT and a 3.75 GPA. You must have both. The Wilder NAFE Technical Skills Grant is available to anyone who enrolls in a program at TCAT. Any program at TCAT in Jacksboro, you would meet the qualifications to receive this amount of, it can be up to $2,000 per academic year. The Tennessee Promise, of course, I've mentioned a little already. Basically, if you graduate from a Tennessee high school and you live here in Tennessee, you just have to apply, complete the FAFSA. Of course, you apply to the community college or technical school that you want to attend, and then report your 8 hours of community service. There is one mandatory meeting the first year, and it is held here at Campbell County High School. So this scholarship really requires very little on the student side, and it will pay for everything except for books. Students, if you'll look at page 38, beginning on page 38, there is a study skills assessment questionnaire. Now, we're not going to take the time to do this right now while I'm on the video, but I really, really encourage the teachers to have your students to complete this. We've talked a lot about careers, college, training, skills. The number one thing that's going to get you to all of those places and to be successful is to have really good study skills. To work hard and really pursue your goal, if you have better study skills, then you are much more likely to achieve that goal. If teachers would take a little bit of time out of the class and actually go through this, it's a few pages long, but I really think that it's really worth it. It probably wouldn't take more than 10 minutes. And then at the end, you can score and then look at where your strengths lie and maybe where you have areas that need improving. If you have any questions about the next guide or anything else in here, I encourage you to stop by and see me in the Gear Up office, or you can send me an email. Please know that I'm here all the time. I'm not out and about in the building as much as I normally am because of COVID and having access to groups, but I am available to help you at any time. Thank you so much and good luck. Please use this guide because it really, really has a lot of good information. See ya.